For the purposes of system calibration in spectral irradiance and spectral radiance, we have 3 calibration standards: 2 irradiance standards and 1 radiance standard. In terms of the spectral irradiance calibration, we have first the CL6H quartz halogen based source. It's fitted with a 150 watt quartz halogen lamp, which provides spectral irradiance calibration from 300 to 3000 nanometers. Below 300 nanometers, the emission is very low and one has to use a second lamp. The CL6 is operated from the 605 constant current power supply at 6.3 amps. It's very important to note the current of operation. The 605 has a key selector which allows selection of the current indicated by an arrow. It is recommended to select the current required and withdraw the key to avoid inadvertent changing of the level set. The CL6 requires a fan connection from the 605 and the current is provided via red and black cables. Ensuring the current is selected, the mains inlet is connected to the 605. One can power on the source. Warm-up time around 5 minutes is recommended. It's also recommended that you do not move the source when it's on and for some 1 minute afterwards to ensure not damaging the filament. It's useful to note the voltage displayed on the LCD of the 605 for both this and the other source used by this power supply. The voltage displayed is an indication only and is the voltage across the lamp and the cables and should be quite constant. Here we see 22 volts or minus 22 volts, the minus being due to the fact that the earth is positive here. If that voltage varies by even a volt, then it would indicate a problem with the lamp. Perhaps the filament has bridged or collapsed. If the lamp fails catastrophically entirely, the red lamp failed light will illuminate, indicating the lamp has failed entirely. The other standard of spectral irradiance is the CL7 deuterium standard. This is based on a deuterium lamp, a short arc lamp, which has high UV emission from 200 to the vicinity of 400 nanometers. The overlap region between 300 and 400 being used to associate the two calibrations. The CL7 is operated from its own dedicated power supply, the 706, and requires 3 connections: anode, cathode and heater connections, which we will connect to the rear of the 706. Connect the mains and power on. On power on, we will see the power and starter light being illuminated. The starter operates the heater for a short period and extinguishes when the arc is established and we see UV emission from the source. In the case of both irradiance standards, a diffuser adapter ring is provided to adapt the D7 diffuser to the source. These sources have been calibrated in spectral irradiance at a well-known distance, 5.5 millimeters from the front face of the source. This is the 5.5 millimeters that the front face of the diffuser is set with respect to the front face of the source when using the DAR. One must make sure that in calibrating that the diffuser is fully pushed in to the DAR and held in place with a thumb screw. And in this manner, a correct calibration will be effected. The standard of spectral radiance is the SRS-12. The SRS-12 is based on a 100 watt quartz halogen lamp baffled in a barium sulfate coated integrating sphere of 300 millimeters diameter. There are no fans associated here. We need only connect the red and black cables from the 605 constant current power supply and ensure the operation current of 8.5 amps is selected. To put 6.3 amps through the source is not a problem. To put 8.5 amps through the CL6 will result in lamp failure. So one must be very, very careful about selecting the correct current and withdrawing the key to ensure that the current is not inadvertently changed. One can then remove the cover from the front port of the SRS-12 and illuminate the source. Provided that one, of course, connects the 605 constant current power supply to mains. The SRS-12, by employing the integrating sphere, ensures a uniform illumination across the exit port of 100 millimeters diameter. So one can ensure with this uniform source, as one varies the field of view of measurement, then the signal varies only with the area of the source. There are no non-uniformities in the source that will be sampled. And this is the correct calibration of spectral radiance.